This is a Stereoforest production from stereoforest.com. Information, resources, and opportunities to support the show and connect with others are available at stereoforest.com/daily reconnect. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have specific mental health concerns, please consult with a qualified healthcare professional. Now, on to the show. In today's episode, we'll practice an exercise that uses breathing to reconnect to reality, and then we'll talk about this week's theme, which is anger, and how to use it to motivate us to work towards shared goals. Welcome to the Daily Reconnect for March 14th. We've made it to Friday. I'm your host, deHaan, and this brief moment together will help anchor you to the present when you're feeling separated or detached from your surroundings or maybe your mind. Together, we will reconnect with this messy world. Let's reconnect with reality. And after our exercise, we'll find motivation to begin our day and persist through the battlefield that is daily existence right now. Embrace whatever serves you during this exercise and disregard whatever doesn't work for you. And feel free, of course, to adjust anything as we move through it. This is your time to focus and recalibrate. And that's all that matters right now. So in this episode's exercise, we'll practice a breathing technique to reconnect with ourselves so we can connect with each other again. This technique is sometimes called box breathing, and it can help you calm your mind and focus your attention. So for this exercise, we'll be breathing in for a count of 4, holding our breath, and then releasing it. So all of these steps are timed. You'll want to find a comfortable seated or standing position. That's what's optimal for this exercise, but you can also practice this if you're moving around or walking. Just feel free to adjust as needed for either your activity or your capacity to do breath work. So let's begin. Take a moment to bring your attention to your breath, letting go of any distractions that might be getting in the way of that. And for this exercise, imagine that you're breathing in a box shape, that you're bringing this box shape into your mouth and into your lungs. So first I'm going to go over the exercise and then I will count the breathing. So what we're going to be doing in this exercising is inhaling for a count of 4, which is when you will fill your lungs completely, and then you will hold your breath for a count of 4, feeling the stillness, and then you will exhale for a count of 4, emptying your lungs completely, and then you will hold your breath again for a count of 4. So we will do that 2 times in a row. All right, let's begin. So inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1, and hold 3, 2, 1. And now return to normal breathing. All right, so now we're going to do that one more time. All right, let's begin. Inhale 3, 2, 1, and hold 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. hold. 3, 2, 1. And now return to regular breathing. All right. So let's now try changing the duration of each breath. We're going to do the same exercise again, except this time we will inhale for 3. We'll hold the breath for 5, exhale for 3, and hold again for 5. And I'll repeat this exercise twice in a row. All right, so let's begin. Inhale, 2, 1, and hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 2, 1, and hold, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's return to normal breathing. We'll give you a second to just relax before we start again. And now let's do it again in the same duration. All right, let's inhale, 2, 1, and hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 2, 1, and hold, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, that's it. Now return to your regular breathing. And this is something that you can experiment with while you're moving, for example. If you're working or going for a walk, just adjust the breathing pattern to your pace, for example. This can be particularly useful during very stressful times or times with anxiety present, or if you're feeling rather dissociated. This can all help bring you back to the present moment. Now take one final deep breath in and out, and now we'll move on to some words of motivation for your day. Perhaps through our previous explorations earlier this week about anger and using it as a motivation tool, you've begun to see your anger not as something to suppress or apologize for, but as a valuable piece of information. It's like a signal that you're receiving that points you towards what matters the most to you. So today I want to take this understanding about anger and take it a little bit further. Because once we've validated that our anger is there and we use it through connecting with other people, we still face a pretty important question. How do we transform this shared energy that we're now connected with other people and we want to do something into lasting systemic change? Throughout history, movements that have managed to create meaningful transformation didn't just acknowledge anger. They developed sophisticated strategies for channeling that anger into change. They understood that sustainable change requires more than just momentary outrage or just this very temporary thing. It demands visionary thinking, very strategic, calculated action, and then sustained commitment to what can be a very slow work of making that change. The systems of capitalism and fascism have survived for generations precisely because they've adapted to contain and neutralize certain forms of resistance. They can withstand isolated protests and individual consumer choices and temporary outrage, anything that's not collective or not sustained. But what they cannot survive is entire communities systematically withdrawing their participation and simultaneously building different ways of relating to each other and the environment that they're in by Canadian. This is where our reconnection practice becomes very important. The present moment awareness, that can help us feel better, yes, but it can also help us notice any assumptions that we may have internalized about what's possible or not possible, what's necessary or what's inevitable, or what we feel is inevitable. We can start to question those assumptions. Today, I invite you to take the anger that you've honored and the connections that you formed these past few days and ask this: what might we create together that embodies our deepest values? Not just what we're against, but what are we for? What concrete alternatives can we begin building in our communities right now? What is already happening that you can join? Can those organizations then connect with other organizations and build a larger, sustained movement, and so on? These kinds of efforts allow us to practice new ways of relating while meeting immediate needs. And critically, they help us develop the skills and the relationships that we'll need for larger transformations. Some of these efforts mean sacrifice, but they can also make lasting change. Remember that throughout history, the most effective movements operated simultaneously at multiple levels. They organized resistance to harmful systems while actively building alternatives. They addressed immediate suffering while working towards structural change. They developed new cultural practices, like buying Canadian products, while challenging existing power structures. As you move throughout your day, I encourage you to notice opportunities that align with your values, because your anger matters. Your connections with other people matters. You matter. And what you build together in response to these feelings matters immensely. Each act in doing things differently demonstrates that alternatives aren't just possible, they're already emerging all around us. These are interesting times, but throughout history, us humans have faced things that may have seemed insurmountable, but then managed to imagine and create and make something better. Your contribution to this legacy, whatever form it takes, is significant. And together, our collective efforts weave the future world into being. You are here, capable of great things, and there is substantial power with us connected together. The world is much better with you in it. This is the truth. So that's it for today, Friday, March 14th. Thank you so much for joining me, and let's connect again on Monday. Thank you for listening to the Daily Reconnect. Episodes are released on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every week. This show was created, written, hosted, edited, and produced by deHaan. Links to contact information, ways to support the show, transcripts, the free newsletter, and our community Discord can be found in the show notes. This is a Stereo Forest production.